Hello everyone, glad to have you here. Subscribe and activate the bell so you're the first to see new videos. We begin with a woman named Alma. She comes home after a long day at work, probably ready to pass out. But surprise! Her daughter Rose jumps out and hugs her, wishing her a happy birthday. Sweet, right? Alma then asks Rose to pack her stuff because the next day they're going on a boat trip with her new boyfriend. Rose agrees, reluctantly of course, and heads back to her job at the hotel because capitalism never sleeps. Next day, Rose comes home and Alma is packing up the car. Rose is clearly not thrilled. I mean, who wants to go on a trip with their mom's random boyfriend? Alma tries to reassure her. I just met him, but I feel like he's a good guy. Famous last words, right? They arrive at the dock, and Derek, the mysterious boyfriend, greets them with a smile way too big for comfort. He shows them their route, and oh look, it goes right through the Bermuda Triangle. Totally normal vacation spot. While Alma is unloading the car, Rose notices two sketchy guys nearby. One of them even approaches Alma. When Rose asks what he said, Alma casually replies, "He just asked where we were headed." You know, like any normal dockside stranger. A bit later, Rose asks Derek why the boat is named Annalisa. He says he bought it secondhand and didn't bother changing the name. Lazy or suspicious? You decide. They finally set sail, and what better way to celebrate than a birthday cake shaped like a tombstone? Very funny, guys. Derek gives Alma a t-shirt and oddly enough, gives Rose a knife for self-defense. He says, not creepy at all. Rose asks what he does for a living, and Derek responds, I used to be a cop. Now I'm just a humble private security consultant. Sure, buddy. Derek teaches Rose how to tie knots and gives her a mini sailing tutorial, just in case something unplanned happens. But while Alma is filming them with her phone, the sail smacks her straight into the water. Rose loses her phone, and nearly her mom too. Rose runs to get the first aid kit, but ends up discovering, surprise, a massive rifle and a few handguns. Back on deck, a storm's rolling in. They hide in the cabin, and Alma suggests they turn back. Derek, of course, assures her, don't worry, the weather will be better tomorrow. Classic. Later that night, Rose is woken up by, let's just say, suspicious noises. Turns out Derek is giving Alma some CPR with way too much enthusiasm. Rose, disturbed, decides to drown out the sounds with a loud action movie. Smart move. The next morning, the sun is shining. Rose goes to Alma and says she wants to go home. Alma, in full mom mode, says try to enjoy the beauty around you, then apologizes for not being a good mother. Rose, being the sweet daughter she is, says you're the best mom ever. Heartwarming stuff. Enter Derek, again. Rose confronts him. I saw your guns, what are they for? Derek says they're for work, but invites her to shoot one if she wants. She does. And thanks to all those action movies she watches, she's surprisingly good at it. Later, Rose spots something strange on the radar, another ship approaching. Just as she's figuring it out, Alma and Derek call her to drink with them. Tempted, she joins, but falls asleep in the cabin. A few hours later, she wakes up to chaos. Another boat crashes into theirs. Two men storm in and demand Derek return what he took. He plays dumb. Alma tries to protect him, but one guy slaps her, and surprise, it's the same dude who talked to her at the dock. Then, in pure villain fashion, he shoots Alma dead and tosses Derek overboard after shooting his hand. Rose, witnessing all this, grabs a gun and hides. Once the bad guys find what they're looking for, they leave. Rose then sees they've set the boat on fire. Great, but she manages to put it out with a fire extinguisher. And there, in the wreckage, she finds her mom dead. The next morning, Rose has no idea what to do with this poor boat that's half burned and half falling apart. She wraps her mom's body in a cloth, planning to give her a proper burial, if she ever makes it back. Then she tries to send a distress signal, but surprise, the radio is fried. Right then she hears a noise. Turns out, it's Derek floating in the water, tied to a rope like some DIY mermaid. Rose pulls him up and asks the big question, who were those guys? Derek goes with the classic, I don't know. Then he tells Rose about a tracker hidden on the boat, but begs her not to activate it, because, you guessed it, it's broken. Sure, Derek. Anyway, he asks her to set up the sail. After a full-on wrestling match with the wind, ropes, and her will to live, she somehow manages it. The next day, after tending to Derek's wounds, she finally takes a moment to cry over her mom. But just then, she spots something. Photos of Derek with the very guys who killed her mother. Without skipping a beat, she ties Derek's hands and grabs her trusty knife. But while she's finishing up the sail like a true sailor, Derek magically vanishes. Turns out he just went to the bathroom. He even mocks her. You can't even tie a proper knot. Rose, not impressed, confronts him about the photos. Derek, full of wisdom, says, "The less you know, the better." That night, Derek gets all cranky because they've missed the wind stream and are now drifting straight into the middle of the Atlantic. Basically, they're doomed. Rose, panicking, grabs a gun and hides in bed. Classic coping mechanism. In the morning, she spots an island, so she and Derek head toward it in the lifeboat. But of course, her oar breaks and she falls into the water. Derek, even with one working arm, jumps in and saves her. Hero mode activated. They explore the island and realize it's completely deserted. Great. They spend the night there, and Derek, clearly in a confessional mood, tells Rose that he used to be a good cop, but money was tight, so he joined the bad guys. Oh, and his wife Annalisa left him when he was broke, which kind of gives him away because the boat's name was Annalisa, and he had claimed he bought it used. Awkward. Then Derek spills the beans. The guy who killed her mom is named the Captain, the head of a human trafficking ring. And if they had found Rose on the boat, she'd be gone too. Rose, now fueled with pure revenge, says she'll kill that captain. Derek just laughs. You? You can't even tie a knot, and now you want to take down the captain? Then, like the worst teacher ever, Derek ties up Rose, claiming he's going to show her how to do a real knot. While she's stuck, she spots the tracker Derek said was broken. Yep, he brought it with him. That's when Derek gives his final villain speech. "I only wanted your mom for a quick fling, but then I saw you. You're beautiful. So I figured I could hand you over to those guys and buy my safety." Rose answers the way any sane person would, by punching him in the face and running into the forest. The next morning, she finds herself at the edge of a cliff. As she tries to sneak down, Derek finds her, shoots at her, and hits her leg. But karma's got good aim. He falls off the cliff himself. When Rose gets to him, bruised and bloody, he still has the nerve to attack her with a knife. Then Derek, still not giving up, begs Rose to haul his broken self onto her boat, promising that he'll activate the tracker in exchange. But Rose, clearly done with his nonsense, grabs the tracker herself to do it manually, only to find out it's just a fancy paperweight. Totally dead. So she pieces out and heads back to the boat. Once there, she bandages herself up, but when night falls, she realizes the boat is literally sinking, so she has no choice but to jump onto the lifeboat. While trying to transfer her mom's body, she accidentally drops it into the water. Yep, total disaster. She cries for a solid 45 minutes. Honestly, anyone would. The next day, starving, dehydrated, and emotionally wrecked, Rose spots a ship in the distance. She tries to get their attention like a human flare. But no luck. Until night falls, and surprise? A small boat from that very ship comes to rescue her. The crew brings Rose on board and feeds her like they're trying to make up for all her trauma with snacks. But then a young woman shows up, looks her up and down, and asks, "Is this one new?" That's suspicious. Before Rose can process anything, one of the crew members leads her away. Red alert. She asks one of the crew if she can take a shower, and they say yes. And oh, does she clean up? Full glam. Because she's now 100% sure she's on the captain's ship, the same captain who had her mom murdered. She struts into the control room, and when the captain sees her, he tells his men to leave. Alone together, Rose thanks him for saving her life, very Academy Award moment, then adds that she's injured and needs medicine. Captain goes to get it like a fool, and boom, Rose bashes his head in with a wrench. Bye-bye, Captain. Then she finds the drunk girl from before and asks where her gun went. The girl points her to the engine room, but warns her, "I'm not the only girl on this boat. There are others too." Rose heads down, finds her weapon, and starts blasting. A few crew members bite the dust, and after a long, messy fight with one of them, she takes him down too. Rose finally finds the room where the captive girls are being held, but right then, the bald dude grabs her. Just as things look grim, the drunk girl whacks him from behind, and Rose finishes the job with his own gun. Boom. Now heading to the control room to call the police, Rose suddenly runs into, yep, Derek again. Because of course. After a quick round of him slapping her around, he drops a bomb. The tracker she thought would save her? Yeah, it only pinged this ship. That's how the captain's people found her. He sneers, "Now I'm taking you to the captain." Rose just laughs and says, "I killed the captain." This doesn't sit well with Derek. He kicks her down a flight of stairs. Real classy. But joke's on him, because this gives Rose a chance to hide on the ship. While he's stomping around looking for her like a dollar store Terminator, Rose ambushes him. She throws a chemical in his face and stabs him right in the heart with the very knife he gave her for protection. Oh, the irony. In the final scene, the rescued girls tell Rose they've reached a coastal town. The police arrive, hear her story, and basically crown her the hero of the year.